screen flickers to life. Tiny green lights blink on the security monitor in the corner. I'm squinting at the grainy black and white footage, trying to make sense of the shadows moving inside my own house. But it's just me, alone, or so I think. I'm Steven, retired electrician, built this house with my own hands, raised my son after his mom died. I've always trusted Ryan, too much maybe. And his wife Jessica, well, I don't even know anymore. Today's supposed to be a normal Sunday dinner, except the questions Jessica asked, the way they looked at the walls, at the cameras. Something's off, real off. You ever get that feeling someone's digging for something you didn't want to show them? Yeah, that. So tell me, how do you handle it when your own blood starts feeling like a stranger? This morning started like any other. Power went out for a few minutes. Stupid surge from the storm last night. So, naturally, I grabbed my old toolbox, climbed into the crawl space, and checked the wiring on my security system. It's been quiet for months. Camera's dead since the last power glitch. Figured I'd get 'em back online. Old habit, can't help it. I fumbled with the panel, rewired a few fuses, and heard that satisfying hum as the system powered back up. Green lights flickered on the control box. My eyes scanned each camera feed. Cracks in the floorboards, the garage door sensor, the backyard gate. I knew every wire, every sensor like the back of my hand. I didn't tell anyone the cameras were back online. Ryan and Jessica showed up at 5. Their usual Sunday routine, but the second they stepped inside, the air changed. Ryan's smile was tight, like a thin rubber band stretched too far. Jessica's eyes, cold and sharp, glanced everywhere. Not last time. Last time was easy, maybe a little too easy. Jessica hovered near the kitchen island while Ryan dragged his feet toward the living room. They were both too quiet, watching, waiting.
Jessica's voice cut through the silence. So, you made a lot of changes to the house over the years, huh? Ever think about its weak points? She said it like she was talking about a leaky faucet, but the way she looked at me? Different. Calculated. I shrugged. Weak points? Hell, I know every inch of this place. Built most of it myself. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I mean, like, if someone wanted to get in, where would you say the easiest spot is? Or, where you'd feel most vulnerable? I blinked. The question felt like a punch to the gut. Jessica never asked questions like that. Not at dinner. Not ever. Ryan chimed in, voice low. Insurance on this place still good? Life insurance, I mean. You talked about that a while back, right? I froze for a second. Yeah, I talked about it once or twice. But why now? Why bring that up at the table? Jessica reached for the salt shaker, hands steady, but I caught a flicker of impatience in her eyes. Just making sure everything's up to date. For your safety. Their questions weren't casual. They felt like probes, like tests. I wanted to say something, ask why they cared so much all of a sudden. But I didn't. I played it cool. I laughed it off, changed the subject, poured more wine. Maybe I was trying to convince myself more than them. Maybe my gut was screaming, but my head told me to keep calm. Still, I caught Ryan glancing toward the hallway leading to the basement, where I keep the breaker box, where the main wires run. I knew that look, like he was trying to memorize something. Dinner ended. I watched them leave. Their smiles looked forced now, fragile, but they said nothing about the cameras. Later, when I flipped on the monitor again, I saw shadows moving in the hallway. Not mine. The cameras were recording. They didn't know.
And I don't think they'll find out anytime soon. I sat there, eyes glued to the screen, rewinding and pausing. The grainy footage wasn't great, Old security cams, but enough. Enough to see them whispering in the hall outside the basement. Their heads close, shadows blending with the dark wood paneling. Jessica's voice was low, clipped. If he falls down those stairs, it'll look like an accident. No questions. Ryan nodded, tense. We make sure the railing's loose. He won't see it coming. My stomach dropped. I blinked, rubbed my eyes. I replayed it. Same words, same look in their eyes. That cold calculation, like they were planning a job, not a family dinner. I leaned back, the chair creaking under me. The room felt smaller. The house, my life's work, suddenly felt like a cage. I knew every wire, every pipe, every board nailed into these walls. And yet, they thought they could use it against me. I swallowed hard. This wasn't suspicion anymore, not even paranoia. It was real, crystal clear. My own son and his wife plotting to kill me. I looked down at my hands, calloused, scarred, steady for decades. They built this place. They fixed it. But not a single damn thing could have prepared me for this. The thought hit me. How had I missed it? How did I not see the signs? The sideways glances, the sudden questions about insurance, the weird distance they kept after dinner. I thought back, not just to this week, but years. Ryan as a kid, scrambling up these stairs with scraped knees. The nights I stayed up fixing the breaker so the heat wouldn't cut out. His laughter echoing through these rooms. I'd trusted them, blindly, because what else did I have? After Mom died, it was just us, me and Ryan. I thought maybe Jessica was the glue, the light that'd pull him out of his funk. Turns out, she was the spider. I shook my head, trying to clear the ache. No time for crying now. No space for heartbreak. I whispered to myself, barely audible. I had become the next target of a serial killer. The weight of that sentence pressed on me, like a stone in my chest. But beneath the shock, beneath the betrayal, something else stirred, cold and steady. This house, with its thick walls and hidden circuits, was still mine. I could turn it against them. I got up and walked slowly to the breaker box in the basement. My fingers traced the switches, feeling that old surge of power. This place obeyed me, and I was about to make sure it did. I checked the cameras again, this time scanning the angles. They'd missed one corner near the stairs where I could slip a tripwire or two. I pictured it, Jessica's heel catching on something, Ryan's leg snapping on a loose step. But not enough to kill, not yet. I needed them alive to unravel, to watch, to fear. I found some spare wires in the tool bench, coiled and ready. My mind raced through circuits, triggers, and alarms. I was already rewiring in my head, turning this home into a maze of traps. I wasn't just defending my life. I was reclaiming it. The night stretched long. Every creak of the house sounded like footsteps, every shadow a threat. I kept checking the monitors, watching for the next move. Ryan and Jessica thought they were smart, but I built the labyrinth. I didn't sleep, couldn't. My body ached, my heart felt like a punch bag, but my mind stayed razor sharp. I caught myself staring at the photos on the wall. Ryan as a kid, grinning, hand in mine. Jessica smiling beside him at their wedding. I wanted to tear them down, rip the memories away. But I didn't. Not yet. Because I knew what was coming. They'd made their choice. And now, so had I. The house hummed quietly, alive,
waiting. I cracked my neck, feeling the chill settle in my bones. Tonight, I'd start the game. I clipped a small bell near the back door, just out of sight, then rigged a loose floorboard in the hallway leading to the basement.
One false step, and the alarm would ring out. But I didn't want an alarm. I wanted fear. I wanted them guessing. I caught a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror. My eyes looked darker than usual, sharper, no warmth left in them. I whispered again, barely breath. You want to kill me? Fine. Let's see who's the real electrician here. Outside, the wind rattled the windows. The leaves rustled like whispers. Inside, the wires beneath the floor waited. The trap was set, and they didn't even know it. The doorbell rang at 6:02, right on time, like always. I didn't move right away. Let it ring again. Then the knock. 3 taps, heavy, his knock. I opened the door slow, real slow, just enough to make him shift uncomfortably on the porch. Ryan smiled too quick. Hey, Dad. Jessica followed with a glassy, fake-ass grin. Hope we're not too early. Nope, I said. Come in. They stepped over the threshold. Didn't even glance at the bell I'd rigged behind the frame. Good. I locked the door behind them. Quiet. Click. Ryan didn't take off his shoes. Jessica looked around like she was checking for cameras. Noticed the small clock missing from the wall. Her eyes twitched. Good. Let her wonder. I led them to the dining room. Lights dimmed, just enough. Shadows long. Chairs perfectly pulled out. Plates set. Napkins folded. Everything neat. Too neat. Ryan hovered behind his chair. Jessica sat. So, she said, brushing invisible lint off her sleeve, how's the week been? I just looked at her, held the silence a beat too long. She shifted, cleared her throat. Working on the fuse box again? I nodded once. Rewired a few things. Yeah, Ryan said, smirking. Hope you didn't shock yourself. He laughed, alone. I didn't. They noticed. I sat down, hands folded on the table. Let the quiet thicken. Then, click. A small pop from the hallway. Ryan flinched. Old pipes, I muttered, but I saw his eyes dart. He knew, or thought he did. We started dinner. I served. Didn't say much. Just kept watching their hands, their eyes, the way they whispered to each other when they thought I wasn't looking. Jessica cut her chicken too slow. Ryan didn't eat the potatoes. They were waiting for something. I was waiting too. Halfway through the meal, I excused myself, said the roast needed more salt, walked to the kitchen, took exactly 9 steps, paused in front of the hallway, right by the loose floorboard. I tapped my foot once, let it creak. Back in the dining room, I heard Jessica's fork clatter. I walked back, empty-handed. No salt, I said, forgot to buy. They didn't care. They were sweating. I sat down. Ryan leaned forward. So, you ever think about downsizing? I blinked. He went on too fast. I mean, this place is big for one person, lot of work. Jessica jumped in. We've been talking. Maybe you'd feel safer somewhere else. Assisted living or something. I didn't answer. Just reached over. Pressed a small black remote under the napkin. The lights dimmed again, and the monitor in the hallway flickered on. Just barely visible from where they sat. Camera 3, the one by the basement stairs. It showed a looped feed, them from last week. Ryan holding the pill bottle, Jessica whispering, he never checks the meds. Looped, playing on repeat. I didn't look at it, just chewed my food. Ryan froze. Jessica went pale. She tried to play it off. "What's that?" I shrugged. "Old recordings. Sometimes I watch 'em. Helps me sleep." Ryan stood, too fast. His chair scraped the floor, loud. I gotta use the bathroom," he said. I nodded. "Down the hall." He hesitated. He knew. He remembered the bell, the tripwire, the floorboard. He didn't move. Jessica spoke carefully. "We should go." I looked up. "Dinner's not finished." Her mouth opened, then closed. I smiled, just a little. Not warm, not kind, just enough to make her shiver. "Then," I said, real soft, "you left the camera on, Jess." She blinked. "What?" "Last week, in the hallway. You thought you turned it off, but you didn't." Ryan sat back down, hard. His knee bumped the table. Clink. No one spoke. I reached under my chair, pulled out the envelope. Thick, heavy. Dropped it between the mashed potatoes and the wine glasses. Ryan stared at it like it might bite. "What's that?" I tilted my head. "Insurance policy?" Neither of 'em breathed. "I changed the beneficiary," I said, 2 days ago." Jessica's lip twitched. You're being paranoid." "Maybe." I pushed the envelope toward 'em. "Take a look." They didn't. I leaned back. "You want this house?" I said. "You want me gone? Just say it." Silence. "Say it, Ryan." His mouth opened. Nothing came out. Coward. Jessica stood, knocked her glass over. "I think we should leave." I stood too. Faster. The lights flickered again, then shut off completely. Total black. She gasped. Ryan cursed. And then the hallway bell rang. One small, delicate jingle. They both jumped. I didn't move. Didn't say a word. Let it hang in the dark. Ryan whispered, "What the fuck is this?" "Your plan," I said. Click. I turned on the light again. Not all the way. Dim yellow glow. Just enough to see their faces. Ryan's hands were shaking. Jessica's makeup had started to run. "You think I didn't see it comin'?" I asked. "No," Ryan muttered. You don't understand. We were just—" "Don't lie." I stepped closer. "Don't you dare." He backed into the wall. I kept walking, right past him, to the drawer in the entry table, pulled it open, took out the phone, pressed play. Jessica's voice came first. "We can make it look like a fall." Then Ryan. Just one loose stare. He's old. No one will question it. I hit stop, dropped the phone on the table. Silence again. Jessica's mouth moved, but no sound came out. Ryan sat down, hard. I stood there, watching 'em fall apart, piece by piece. No yelling, no threats, just unraveling, exactly like I planned. "You won't call the cops," Ryan said. "Not a question, a plea." I didn't answer, didn't need to. He looked up at me, eyes red, face gray. "What do you want from us?" I walked over to the front door, unlocked it, swung it open. Wind howled through the entryway. I looked at 'em both, then said, quiet and cold, "Get out." Jessica hesitated. "You can't just. We're family." "Not anymore." She flinched. Ryan didn't even look at me as he walked past, just kept muttering, "Shit, shit, shit." Jessica followed, eyes darting. I watched him cross the threshold, then shut the door, locked it. 1, 2, 3 bolts. The house fell quiet. The hum returned. The wires beneath the floor settling again. I walked to the breaker box, flipped the main switch. Everything went black. Then silence, except for the faint echo of that bell, still ringing in my head.